Here's your daily reminder that the Democrat Party and woke corporations think black people and brown people are too stupid or too helpless to have a photo ID to vote. Hello once again, all my fellow patriots and you filthy leftist stalkers out there. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Angela Box. You're watching the Angela Box Show, where I always say what you were thinking. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, liking or rumbling this video, commenting on this video, and of course, sharing this video, especially with your filthy leftist friends, because they truly hate my guts. And for me, that's a badge of honor. Yes, we are rebranding Angela's Soapbox, because that's always been a bit of a mouthful, and we're just consolidating everything as we speak into the Angela Box Show. And that's going to take some time, but I need to get used to saying that. So welcome to the Angela Box Show. Okay, let's give this eternal killing plastic straw. You guys, I am a big believer in karma, or what goes around comes around, or natural consequences, or God has the last laugh, or however you want to look at repercussions to actions. And what is going on right now with the Biden crime family is nothing short of biblical, I think. So let's give this eternal killing plastic straw to them, because they're getting ready to crash and burn in lots of different ways. All right, so obviously, Joe Biden's auto pen scandal has been brewing for quite some time. The auto pen that was used to sign many's a pardon, and you can't do that. That's illegal to do that, and I'm sure the Supreme Court will get in. But at this point, the Supreme Court's so worthless and obviously compromised. Like, who knows what the hell they're going to say? But they should say, no, those pardons are null and void, because there was a 2005 case that said presidents cannot sign pardons with an auto pen. So those pardons are going to be null and void, okay? And then over the weekend, the Friday night news dump, I mean, talk about a non-slow news weekend. And I didn't watch any of the Sunday shows, but I guarantee you that they probably didn't talk about this much. And the timing of Joe Biden releasing that he has cancer and it's stage 4 and he's terminal, it's so sad. It's very suspicious. Okay, let me set this up. So on Friday, the White House, the Department of Justice, whomever, released the Robert Hur tape. Now, the Robert Hur tape, those of us who followed this whole document scandal from the beginning, it was just so infuriating, because Joe Biden, as vice president and as senator, did not have any right to store classified documents whatsoever, period, at the end. And not only did he have thousands of classified documents, but he stored them all over the place in unsecure locations. And one of those locations was at the UPenn Biden Center, where coincidentally the Chinese Communist Party had access to. So I'm sure there's nothing to see here. Anyway, during this whole brouhaha, when he was being interviewed by Special Counsel Robert Hur, who the media was quick to point out, he's a registered Republican. Like that matters. Like, the swamp is the swamp is the swamp. Anyway, he famously said after the interview that, I'm not going to charge him with anything, because, he's a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. And, he just forgot. Like, it happens. He forgot. Anyway, of course, everyone was like up in arms about this. Anyone who understands fairness and understands the rule of law is like, hang on a minute. So y'all charged Trump with storing classified documents that he had the right to declassify and then have in a skiff at Mar-a-Lago. And somehow you SWAT teamed his house at 6 a.m. to rifle through Melania's underwear and all the things that they did. And because you didn't have anything, you had to create this idea that President Trump had these classified folders just lying around the place. It's like, there wasn't anything in the folders, stupid, but they had to get their photo up, didn't they? Yes, they did. And of course, they wanted to charge Trump with hoarding classified documents and all these things, and espionage, whatever they wanted to charge him with. But for Joe Biden, the sitting president of the United States, who was not the sitting president when he had these documents, it was like, oh, he's an old man. Like, these things happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, On Friday night, Donald Trump's Department of Justice finally released the Robert Hur tapes, and it was not good. And it just highlights how out of it Joe Biden truly was and truly is. And the fact that the Democrats were kicking and screaming against releasing this. And they're like, well, we have the transcript. Like, what's the big deal? You don't need to hear it. And the reason they didn't release it initially, Merrick Garland was like, oh, this is national security. It's like, well, hang on. So you can release the transcript, and that's cool. But you can't release the actual audio because that's somehow going to hurt national security. Why? Well, now we know why. Because Joe Biden was completely on another planet during this interview. He didn't know when his son died. He didn't know when Trump became president. He didn't know when he was vice president. Like, he couldn't remember basic dates. Like, his aides had to keep reminding him of when Beau Biden died. And Joe Biden was trying to use the death of his son, as he always does when he gets in trouble, trying to use the death of his son to, like, excuse his poor memory over why he's hoarding all these classified documents that he didn't have any right to. And the double standard is just extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Now, if you believe that Joe Biden's cancer diagnosis just so happened to be coincidentally released on the same weekend that we got the Robert Hur tapes, like, you're a dummy, because his brother Frank Biden got the cat out of the bag during the election before Joe Biden dropped out, or maybe it was right after he dropped out. He basically said, you know, my brother doesn't have a long time to live, and he basically said that he was terminally ill, and people were like, wait, what? What do you mean he's terminally ill? Well, now all of a sudden, this cancer diagnosis comes out, and he's got, you know, it's stage 4 terminal prostate cancer. It's like, wow, that's very, very serious. And, you know, I don't wish cancer on anybody, but I do not believe for 1 second that he just got this diagnosis at all, okay? So, not only do we have the autopin scandal that's coming, because this guy was not in control of anything, probably not even his bowels, okay? If you believe some of the poopy pants stories that Joe Biden has been famously known to poop his pants at inopportune times. Not only was he hoarding classified documents as vice president and senator, and then just this interview just was completely off the rails, awful for him. You have to understand, like, somebody was running the White House. It wasn't Joe Biden, okay? And that is what we're going to get to the bottom of here, because Joe Biden is not long for this world. Everybody knows it. And if they think that Joe Biden is going to be the one to take the fall for all this stuff, like, good luck. Although I will say that we will find out who was working the autopin, who put Joe Biden up to signing these pardons or having the autopin sign these pardons. And the reason the autopin is important and the reason that releasing the Hur interview is important is because it just highlights how completely out to lunch Joe Biden was and has been for quite some time. Those of us who are old enough to remember the 2020 election remember that they kept Joe Biden in the basement for as long as humanly possible because Joe Biden couldn't string a sentence together, okay? He was completely out of it. So who the hell was running the country? That's what we're going to get to the bottom of. Now, let's talk about the delicious karma that has befallen the Biden family. I shouldn't say I take no pleasure in this. I absolutely take pleasure in this. The Biden crime family has grifted off their name for these many years. If you remember, think of the difference. There's a famous photo of Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and Barack Obama, the first black president, at like some Lakers game, right? And they were on top of the world. Joe Biden was using his name to, grease the skids and do influence peddling, and his family was getting rich because of it. And Hunter Biden was sitting on many, many boards he had no reason to be sitting on, and doing stuff with Ukraine and all the things that Joe Biden was doing when he was not completely out of it. And the fall from grace that the Bidens are having right now is proof that God exists, okay? Now, again, Joe Biden's not long for this world. He's going to be dead soon. But his family, the other members of the Biden crime family, I wonder if President Trump is going to be like, let's look into how much influence Jill and Hunter and all the rest of his family members, maybe the daughter he showered with, let's see how much influence they really had over the day-to-day workings of the White House, because I guarantee you it was way more than people think. And if you think about now that Hunter Biden is going around crying poor, and weirdly enough, Hunter Biden's splatter paintings, his kindergarten splatter paintings that strangely enough were selling for like $500,000 because Hunter Biden is an up-and-coming artist. The LA Times said so. Now all of a sudden, nobody wants to buy his kindergarten splatter paintings. I wonder why. Y'all, God is real. Karma's a bitch. And the Bidens are getting their karma, and it is going to be a spectacular fall. This is just the beginning of this scandal, you guys. It's going to boomerang. It's going to snowball and get worse and worse for these people. But again, Joe Biden's not going to be alive for all this. It's going to be all the people that were running Joe Biden that are going to be exposed. And I just cannot wait, y'all. Get the popcorn. All right, that's where I'm going to leave this video. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you in the next one. I will be done. Bye.